What's up, vegan family? Let's make a homemade vegan sausage, potato, and kale soup. As usual, we're going to get started by getting all of our ingredients together, all of our fresh veggies, our seasonings, and our garlic and celery, our plant-based milk, our gnocchi. Just get all of your seasons together. It's going to make this very convenient for you to create this wonderfully delicious recipe. Let's go. Let's start by chopping up those fresh carrots. We get those chopped up into nice bite-sized pieces. Then we take our potatoes, we're going to clean them, remove the skin from those, and then we're going to get those chopped up again into nice bite-sized pieces to go into our soup. And once we finish chopping them, this is what they should look like. Next, let's wash that kale real good. We don't want any dirt on those. And then we're going to remove the stem from those, and we're going to chop those up. Then we get our fresh garlic there. Again, we're going to chop that up, and we want to chop this really fine, mince it up, because this is going to go in and it's going to create that good flavor. Next, we're going to come with our plant-based sausage. I like Beyond, so we're going to chop that up into nice bite-sized pieces, and that's going to go in as well. So we're going to go with a hot skillet. Into a hot skillet, add a little bit of oil of your choice. Here we use extra virgin olive oil, and then we're going to cook the plant-based sausage in there. And when it gets done, this is what it should look like. We're going to remove that and put it in a bowl, set it to the side. And into our crock pot, we're going to start building our base for our soup. So there goes our no chicken broth, and in comes our better than bouillon no chicken base. And we're going to put that in there. And then into that same skillet from the sausage, we're going to go in with our holy trinity. There's some onions and celery, some carrots. You can give that a good stir and let that saute for a few minutes. Then we come in with our garlic. Again, once we get that in there, we're going to let that saute for a minute and two, allow those flavors to come together and bloom. Into our crock pot, we're going with our seasonings as we build this flavor level for that soup. Give it a nice stir. Make sure it's well incorporated into that broth. And check those veggies. They're nice and sauteed. Now we take those veggies and add those to our broth and build this soup that you're just going to love. Give it a nice mix to make sure everything is well and combined. In goes that sausage that we cooked and set aside. Give it a nice stir. Make sure we're going to give everything a stir when we put it into this crock pot to make sure it's combined. There goes our chopped potatoes. And stir that in as well. Here's some Maggi seasoning that I really like. That's going to help boost that flavor level up for your soup. So we can put that in there. And then we go with the bay leaves. Again, this is all necessary to build that flavor level to this soup. Some fennel seeds. And we'll get that in there. And again, we're going to give everything a nice stir. Constantly, we're going to stir everything as we put it in here. Into the hot skillet, we go with our fresh cleaned and chopped kale. I'm going to saute that down a little bit before we put it into our pot. And there goes our fresh kale that we sauteed down. So put that in there. And once we get that fresh kale in there, we're going to incorporate it as well by giving it a nice stir. Because we want everything to be nice and combined so we get an even cook. Next, we go in with some dairy-free Parmesan cheese. Sprinkle that right in there. And then you want to stir that and get a good stir so that everything is nice and combined as well. And then after it's cooked for a while, then we're going to go in with some vegan heavy whipping cream, the dairy-free whipping cream of choice. And that's going to allow it to thicken up some. And then as you can see there, we added some gnocchi in there. You want to add the gnocchi at the end because it cooks pretty fast. And there you go. That's your finished product. Your vegan sausage, potato, and kale soup with some homemade garlic bread on the side. And it's absolutely delicious. Yeah, it's vegan.